Energy's back. We've signed arguably the best CDM of all time. Manchester United, let's go.
Between the lines.
Yes, my Between the Liners. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the channel. Casemiro's confirmed. Still Glazers out, but we've made a top elite signing. Any team right now that signed Casemiro will be gassed. This is about to be a preview for the Man United v Liverpool game, but let's talk about Casemiro a little because obviously you can tell I am gassed. Brentford game's out of my mind. My memory started clean slate. Casemiro, let's go. Let's talk about Casemiro first. What's the positives? Arguably one of the best CDMs of all time. And let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, yeah? But at least he must be top 10 CDMs of all time, which is an insane thing to say. Like, the fact that a player of that caliber is coming to us in this state right now is a huge positive and a sign that we're still capable of pulling in the best players in the world right now, despite how bad we actually are. Like, no doubt we are terrible right now, but I know everyone's going to point to the money. We'll get to that later. But Casemiro could get into any team in the world right now. I'm trying to think, who could he not get into? He'd get into City, he'd get into Liverpool. Obviously Madrid, he starts every game. Bayern, he'd get into. PSG, he'd get into. Literally every team in the world right now, he'd get into. And rival fans are trying to clown us like it's a bad signing because of the money or because he's 30. Bro, if you got him, or bro, sis, whatever, if you got him right now in your team, you'd be over the moon. I'm sure if anyone else other than United right now, they'd be shocked. If Arsenal fans, for example, got Casemiro right now, he'd be potentially one of the best signings of your history. Obviously, bar Henry or whatever. But Casemiro would be up there as one of the best signings ever. You'd be throwing open bus parades for him. Other positives, Casemiro, people can talk about how Varane came in and how he didn't work out for Madrid and he hasn't hit the heights that we quite expected, yeah? Varane probably came in with a few question marks, such as people weren't sure how well he's going to play without Ramos. People weren't sure if he was going to be up to the Premier League standards. People weren't sure because of his injuries. Casemiro comes in with no doubt at all. There's no doubt on his ability. There's no doubt on his injury concerns. I think he's missed 24 games in the last 8 years at Madrid. That's roughly 3 games a season. There's no doubt on his ability and his physicality of being able to handle the Premier League. We've seen him play at the highest level in Champions League and La Liga, and he's been dominant in every single one of those competitions every time he stepped out on the pitch. Even for Brazil, he's dominant. There's no doubt about Casemiro. Even Sancho, you could say, had like Bundesliga attacks, so there was doubt about him. This signing, we have 0 doubts. We're guaranteed to see an 8 out of 10 performance from Casemiro every time he steps onto that pitch in a Man United shirt. Bold claim, maybe, I don't care. Like, it's facts. This is more of a fact. This is like Cristiano Ronaldo signing. Ronaldo came in with guaranteed goals. He came in last year to the worst Manchester United side ever, guaranteed goals. Casemiro is coming into the worst Manchester United side ever, guaranteed some stability and better ball playing ability in that midfield. Absolute phenomenal athlete, destroyer, can pass it out, everything. No doubt on Casemiro. To back up my point further, just go back and look on Kroos's and Modric's Instagram posts today. They're practically crying about Casemiro leaving. They're saying how he's the leader of the team. He's the one that's relentless. Apparently, even when they're in the steam room in the sauna, Casemiro's telling him to work out and that. The guy is an absolute beast, absolute leader, exactly the type of person we need in that dressing room. I don't know how his English is, but if Casemiro's telling you to do something, you're probably going to do it. Like, if Casemiro's telling McTominay and Fred to put in an extra shift, you better be putting in that extra shift, boys. Otherwise, Casemiro will eat you guys alive. He's captain material. I wouldn't even mind giving him the captaincy. I would never give captaincy to a player just joining the club. But Casemiro is the type of player I would give the captaincy to. Casemiro is the type of player I would give the captaincy to. Our CDM spot is instantly resolved. I'm shocked he's even come. I'm very shocked he's even come. Like, I never thought we'd even be linked to him this summer or maybe in the near distant future at all. But the fact that he's even come just shows the magnitude of the signing. It's a massive, massive signing. People also want to talk about his age. He's 30 years old. He's not that much older than me. I'm still playing at the top of my ability. Some could say that I'm arguably better than I ever have been. So what makes Casemiro any different? And how is 30 years old, even that old in these days? In this generation, all the sports science, all the focus on dieting and nutrition, I'm sure he's got many, many years. People are acting like he's got 3-4 years after the top. I won't be surprised if he's got 5, 6, 7 years at the top. If he looks after himself, he's probably on the Ronaldo diet. I'm sure Ronaldo can give you some tips. Casemiro has got the capability of playing at the top level in the Premier League for at least another 6, 7 years. Do not doubt him because of his age. And if anything, this is probably his prime, no? Like, when did 30 become too old? Rival fans are trying to act like he's too old. Like, get a grip, bro. Get a grip. All right, let's talk about the negatives about Casemiro. The money issue. Apparently, he's probably going to be getting about 350k a week. Who cares? Like, if you're a rival fan, why would you care what Man United spend on Casemiro or how much wages he's getting? Yes, 60 million is a lot for maybe a 30-year-old. Yes, Real Madrid bought him for about 8 million when he was 21. Who cares? It's not our money. The club's still going to run. The club's still functioning. We just spent about 75 million on Pogba and let him go in a free. Who cares about Casemiro's resale value? Like, I could not care less if Casemiro did a 6-7 year solid shift at United and left on a free. Would not bother me one bit. I don't care about the wage. The wages is the only issue I have, yeah, because we're obviously on the road to trying to reduce our wage structure because it is a mess. It's a complete mess. Sancho's on like 250k a week or whatever, 300k a week. I don't know. De Gea's on 300k a week or whatever. It's obviously very, very messy right now. But if a player of Casemiro's ability comes available, you pay whatever the hell he wants. I do not care. That player is worth it. So yeah, people want to talk about he's come for the money. Maybe. But why don't you look at it as he's come because he believes in his ability so much, he thinks he's the one, or he's going to be a crucial part to help United and take United back to where they belong. Which is the same reason why Ronaldo came, the same reason why Varane came, potentially why Sancho came, even when we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. These players that we keep signing, big marquee names, are coming because they want to be the players that take United back to the level where we belong, and that's winning titles. And Casemiro, I believe, and based on everything that everyone says about him, he must believe in himself that he would be a crucial part to take us back to where we belong. Think about it, yeah? We've only been interested in him since we lost a 4-0 to Brentford, no? Like, it was quick. It happened quick, yeah? He knows we've just lost 4-0 to Brentford. He knows we're not great. He's still willing to sign. Like, a player of his ability and his pride, he wouldn't sign for us if he thought that he couldn't help turn us around. We've just lost 4-0 to Brentford. The proof's in the pudding. We're shit right now. But he believes in himself and thinks he's going to take us back to the top. Let's move it on to the Liverpool game. It's a bit of a downer. Bit more of a reality check. You know what? I've seen Klopp in his press conference before the game. He was sticking up for Ten Hag, actually, which was a bit weird, I thought. No mind games from Klopp, unless that is the mind games. He was saying how Ten Hag's had it harder or has it harder than Klopp had it at Liverpool when he came in, which could be true, might not be true, I'm not sure. Klopp had like a pretty shit Liverpool team when he came in. He changed it drastically. Ten Hag still got a lot of change to do, a lot of rebuilding to do, a lot of ins and outs still yet to happen. And also Klopp got at Gabby Agbonlahor because Gabby Agbonlahor said Man United lacked mentality monsters or something during the 4-0 loss to Brentford, which pains me to say. And then Klopp said, where was Gabby Agbonlahor's, or he didn't see no mentality monster from Gabby Agbonlahor when Liverpool beat Villa 6-0 in his first time he played Villa or something. I just thought that was weird. Like, what, does Klopp just hate Agbonlahor for no reason? And I understand, obviously, what has Agbonlahor done to criticise United or Ten Hag, but End of the day, he's a pundit. He gets paid to report on the games, and that was his opinion at the time. It just seemed very strange how Klopp reacted. And the guy's, I don't know, Klopp's a bit of a clown sometimes. Obviously a sick manager, yeah, but his attitude and like his ego is a bit weird. Like, why would he feel the need to get at Gabby Agbonlahor? Surely you just brush it off. And like, Klopp supporting United against Agbonlahor. It's just strange. Maybe he respects Ten Hag a lot. Maybe he respects like the club on stature that Man United are. But it was a bit weird. You'd think he'd try and criticise us or something, or agree with Agbonlahor instead. Anyway, that's Klopp. He's a weirdo. I nearly swore there, but anyway, he's a weirdo. Couple question marks on the game, yeah. Does Ten Hag go against his principles and play three at the back? Because I'll be very, very seriously concerned if we started the game with four at the back against Liverpool. I know they ain't got Nunes, they ain't got Mane. Are we capable of playing four at the back against Liverpool system right now? I'm not so sure. We might have to go back to basics, play three at the back, three centre-backs, two wing-backs. It will be very risky if we play four at the back. Another question mark, does Martinez start? After he was kind of bullied last week against Brentford, I'm not so sure. Is Varane even fit enough to play 90 minutes against Liverpool or to start against Liverpool? Still question marks on Varane. Do Rashford and Sancho even start? We obviously can't drop both of them. One of them is going to play. I assume it's going to be Sancho, newer signing, and probably a bit more on form than Rashford. Rashford's just basically non-existent every time you see him on a pitch now. His attitude can be questioned at times. Do we start Elanga just because he's going to put in a shift at least? He's obviously not the greatest technically, but he'll put in a shift. Casemiro is not going to start, obviously. He might not even be on the bench, but does that mean we're playing Fred and Scott McTominay again? Is it McFred again in midfield? Because the Eriksen pivot and Fred didn't work against Brentford. And another thing, you know what? Everyone knows I've rode out for Bruno for a long time, yeah? But like gradually, I've come to the idea that it must be time for him to be dropped. Surely, he's just not performing well enough. He's not leading the team well enough. Throws a hissy fit every time he's playing. Argues with the ref a lot. It looks so emotional. Gives the ball away a lot. Isn't creating enough chances. It might be time for Bruno to be dropped. I think it is. I think it's time for Bruno to be dropped. It might have to be McFred and Eriksen playing Cam. I don't know. I'm not sure what Ten Hag's going to do. Other than that, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a few injuries coming up just before the game starts. United players shying away from potentially taking another hiding from Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if you hear like Ronaldo's injured before the game and he doesn't play. Because why does he want to be in the end of another smashing? And like a lot of the big games last season, he coincidentally didn't play. So a bit nervous with our strikers and where the goals are going to come out. De Gea's confidence is an issue. The defense's confidence and De Gea is going to be an issue. Every time he gets on the ball, he's going to be nervous. The defense is going to be nervous. I'm going to be nervous at home thinking, where's De Gea going to pass it out to? Sure, I don't think he should be playing, to be honest. I think just get Malacia in there, you know. Just let that guy learn the ropes. He might make a few mistakes, but I'm done with Shaw. He's tried to prove himself enough, and it's just too much now. Dalot is a big question mark for me. And it gets to the point where I would seriously... Me personally right now, I'll chuck Wan-Bissaka in there. Defensively, he's probably going to do a better job than Dalot. Attacking, he's not. But are we even going to attack that much down the right against Liverpool? Probably not. We're going to be aiming for counter-attacks. Do we need Dalot for a counter-attack? I don't think so. And the guy's performances haven't been good enough in my opinion. Martial's back in training. Probably be on the bench. A bit positive, I guess, based on his pre-season form. I kind of expect him to do more than Rashford right now, which is saying a lot. We'll look at the Liverpool team news. No Nunes. I was kind of looking forward to seeing him play against us, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Maguire got into his head. Maguire's that idiot guy, like that clown. Probably get into Nunes' head, probably headbutt each other. Nunes probably be out for 5 months after the headbutt of Maguire with his fat slab head. What else? Firmino's playing. I'm not too concerned about Firmino. He has scored a few against us in the past. To be honest, the main threats for Liverpool has to be Diaz and obviously Salah. Salah in recent times, it's started to turn up against us, unfortunately. The worse we get, the more goals he scores against us. And Diaz is a massive threat at all times. He could be scary good, I'm not going to lie. Like, enthusiasm, desire, ability, tenacity, that guy looks like he's going to be top class, Diaz. I'm not going to lie. If he can get his shooting boots on, whoever's playing at right back has got a very tough task ahead of them. I'm going to move on to my predicted lineup. This isn't what I want. This is my predicted lineup of what I think Ten Hag will play. I think he's going to be a bit stubborn. Stubborn, is that harsh? I think he's going to stick to his principles and play 4-3-3 again, which is a bit concerning, maybe, before the game. I think it's going to be De Gea in goal. I don't even know who's on our bench right now. Is it Heaton? Heaton's not playing, let's be real. It's going to be De Gea in goal. I think he's going to play Dalot again, because it seems like he's firmly set out on picking Dalot over Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka isn't getting a sniff. I think he wants to get rid of Wan-Bissaka. I saw reports today that we might be in for Hakimi. I don't know if that's real or not. I think that Martinez gets dropped, because he did take him off pretty early in second half against Brentford, I think. Did he? I think Martinez came off at one point. So I think Varane will play on the right as centre-back. I think Maguire will play left centre-back. And I think he'll bring in Malacia, because I feel like, obviously, Ten Hag signed Malacia with the view of taking over Shaw. And Shaw hasn't impressed in the last 2 games. Defensively questionable. Attacking hasn't done much. I think Malacia's coming with a bit more renewed energy and fight. Maybe he doesn't have the right game management or ability to read the game right now, but I think he'll put in a greater shift than Luke Shaw would right now. So I think Dalot, Varane, Maguire, Malacia at the back. Unfortunately, it kills me to say, I think it's going to be McFred again in the midfield, because we need numbers there, to be honest, and workhorses. And unfortunately, they probably run a bit more than Eriksen probably would in the pivot, and we haven't got anyone else to play there. So McFred, and as much as I want Bruno to be dropped for this game right now, especially, I'd rather play Eriksen. I think it'll be Bruno that starts, just because we've just given him a new contract and we're kind of waiting for him to get back onto form. Bruno on form would potentially be our saviour, but obviously we're trying to play him into form and it's not working. On the wings, I think Elanga starts, I think Ten Hag's probably seen enough of Rashford so far, even in pre-season and in the first 2 seasons, to think Elanga probably starts just purely based on his work rate and his hunger to play. And he's going to put in a shift. That's one thing we can guarantee. And Rashford isn't putting in a shift, isn't doing anything on the ball, isn't getting involved in the game. I think Sancho plays again, maybe on the left this time. Probably gets a bit of an opportunity on the left, because he's probably better on the left. And I feel like Ten Hag will push Elanga out onto the right just to put in a shift, really. And Diaz is going to be there, so we need that. Up front, if Ronaldo is available, I'm hoping he's available, I'd like to think that Ronaldo starts and plays up front, and we're relying on him to get goals, or a goal at least, or to get shots on target at this point. So, score predictions, I want to be optimistic. It's not often I ever say that United will lose, if ever. I'm going to try to be realistic, and we're Old Trafford. Liverpool haven't been in the best of form, but they've played against 2 teams that have put in a shift, and I don't think we're capable of putting in the same shift that Palace and Fulham have put in. So I'm very concerned. I'd like to think that I don't like to think, but I think we'll lose 2-1 to Liverpool at Old Trafford, unfortunately. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know your predicted lineups. Let me know your score predictions. How gassed are you about Casemiro? Ended on a bit of a downer because of the Liverpool game, but still, we've got Casemiro. The energy is coming back. Manchester United are coming for the top 4. Like the video, subscribe, share the video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your score predictions. Am I being too optimistic with Casemiro, or am I on the right lines? Let me know what you guys think. Match reaction for the Liverpool game will be out on Tuesday. The game's on Monday at Old Trafford, so hopefully we get a win. And hopefully I'm a lot more excited on Tuesday. Like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. See you in the next one. Shout out my Between the Liners. Peace out.
Between the lines.